All right, welcome to week 7 of Chem 110. This is just going to be a recap on what is due this week and the lab that you started last week and you're continuing this week. So I'm going to go over what is due, and I'm also going to go over the assignments briefly. Some people get directions more easily, understand or apprehend directions more easily when they hear the directions as opposed to just reading them, and then what's upcoming. So this is going to be really brief, but hopefully it'll help you. Also, what is helpful in watching these videos is the fact that you can speed them up if you don't need to listen to all of the details. Okay, so this is just a copy of your week 7 lab. Notice before part 1, actually, there is something in the description here that says that you need an ID, school or state ID, to complete tasks 2 or part 2 and 3. So make sure to have that uploaded along with this document so that I know it's you who's completing it and not somebody else. Part 1, something that a few of you had mentioned to me when looking at tasks was monomer. Monomer is just a basic subunit of each plastic. That is something you can research online and just add your references at the bottom. At the bottom of this document, there is a section for you to add references. So you can draw that either as a skeletal structure. If you don't know what that is, you can look that up. Skeletal structure, you can do a condensed structure, etc. But I will be able to understand any type of accepted chemistry structure. Okay, a lot of part 1 should be self-explanatory. You're just giving me all of these different big 6 plastics monomers and identifying the common material made from 2 or more types of common materials that are made from these plastics. So moving on to part 2. Part 2 asks you to obtain a sample of your choice of the three of the big 6 plastics. So you're trying to find that somewhere, maybe in your house, something like that. And then you're going to prepare the solutions right here under part 2. So you just need olive oil, water, and then some salt water. And then you're going to do the following tasks with those solutions and with those solutions/liquids and with those pieces of plastic. So this walks you through the substances and their corresponding densities right here. Density is just a measurement of the amount of mass per volume. So really it tells you how tightly packed the matter is of the substance that you're looking at. And then underneath that, you're just ranking them lowest to highest. It tells you how to do that. You're going to be putting the plastics inside of each of these substances, and you'll see if they float on top, if they sink to the bottom, or if they go somewhere in the middle. So you use that information from analyzing where the plastics sit in each corresponding solution or liquid to determine the ranking of their densities. Okay, moving on. You're answering some questions about which of the plastics would be best for instance, replacing window glass. Okay, Y is going to correspond to, or you're going to get that information from your answers to the previous questions and from your analysis of the plastic. Is it hard enough to be a window glass? Does it shatter? That would probably be a bad thing. Or does it stay in place when it's hit by a large object? So those are some things that you want to think through. Okay, moving on. Oh, this is a fun part actually. Making your bouncy balls. Okay, so you're making bouncy balls from borax powder, water, Elmer's glue, cornstarch, and you're using different proportions of each of these materials. And then you're going to analyze what proportion is the best for each bouncy ball. So if you have ever made slime before, these are the basic components of slime: borax powder, water, and Elmer's glue. You can make different types of slime with this, make it colorful, blah, blah, blah. But today you're really just looking at making a bouncy ball. the cornstarch thickens it up to actually make it like a ball instead of like slime. So you are going to look down here for information on how to make each ball. Make sure that you read these instructions before you actually make each of the 3 balls, because it gives you information about what to do in terms of stirring, letting the components react, etc. And then going down, you're going to analyze the composition of each of the balls, talk about the outcomes, and also in part 3, you're going to talk about the monomers, again, that word monomer or subunit of the balls. I'm moving over so you can see the last part of the question. And you're going to talk about what that monomer is that makes up that particular polymer, that ball that you're making. After that, you're going to answer a couple more questions about the role of each of the components in that bouncy ball, which is a polymer. It's made up of many monomers all attached together. And then make sure that you also, besides including the pictures with your ID for part 2 and 3, also include any references. So there is a section, let me kind of move this down. There is a section at the very bottom for references. So make sure to include that. And this is an example of how that should look. Okay. All right. So moving on, I'm going to move this up and then I'm going to look at your week 7 assignment. So your week 7 assignment is just a discussion post. And so what you're going to need to do is first find an article. Okay, some of you found articles last week for week 6, in addition to the articles that were already assigned online. So if you used another article last week in addition to the assigned articles, you can use that one this week for posting an article analysis. I want you to not only post the reference, but write a synopsis. Okay, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Make sure, I'm seeing a lot of you use incorrect punctuation and grammar, and also some of you are inserting a link to a document into your discussion post. You need to write directly into the discussion post. And you do need to proofread. Okay, that's really going to benefit you, and it's going to help the students that are reading your post, and also it helps me, obviously. After, you need to read and respond to another article post and talk about if you agree or disagree. It's okay to disagree on someone's opinions. It's also okay to disagree with someone's synopsis. Okay, you just need to know how to tactfully disagree and how to give beneficial information or feedback to that student as to why you agree or disagree. Okay, that's going to be helpful to everyone in the future. Also, last part, propose some solutions to the issue with plastic waste in a new discussion thread. So you are posting an article reference and a synopsis in one post. You are then responding to another student, to their thread, and then you're posting a new thread to propose some solutions to plastic waste. And there's extra credit for thoughtful responses to other students' proposals. So if I think that you really thought through this and you give some excellent feedback and some thoughtful response to a student's post, then I will consider giving you extra credit, which everyone loves. Okay, so good luck this week. Let me know if you need any help. Work hard. It's never going to negatively affect you to work hard in the long run. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a great week.